Number 10. Playing dead like a drama queen. You've probably heard of opossums playing dead. It's not just lying down and hoping the wolf gets bored. It's a full Broadway performance. They collapse, tongue out, drooling, eyes rolled back, sometimes even releasing a smell so nasty it's basically eau de dumpster juice. Predators look at this Oscar-worthy corpse act and go, no thanks, because dead meat often means spoiled, diseased meat. Now, before you go perfecting your flop skills, here's the fun part. Humans actually can benefit from a version of this trick. It's called tonic immobility, or freezing up when threatened. Your body does it automatically in extreme fear, like when you see your ex at Target. But consciously playing dead has been used in real survival situations. People have faked being unconscious during bear attacks, mass shootings, and even robberies. Weirdly enough, predators, human and animal, tend to lose interest in something that's not resisting. It's not foolproof, obviously. If you're facing a hungry grizzly, maybe don't test your improv skills. But if the danger is more about violence than dinner plans, your inner opossum could buy you precious seconds. Just maybe skip the part where you poop yourself. Number 9. Lizard tail sacrifice. Picture this. You're a lizard minding your own business, and suddenly a predator grabs you by the tail. Instead of panicking, your body goes, "No problem, bro. Take it." Snap. Tail gone. The lizard scurries away, leaving behind a twitchy, wriggly distraction that looks like a discount Halloween prop. It's called autotomy, and while it looks brutal, it's genius. Better to lose a tail than lose your life. Humans, sadly, can't detach body parts like a Lego set, but we can use the same principle. Sacrifice something less important to save the rest of you. Mugger wants your wallet, toss it. Someone grabs your backpack, unclip it and run. You're basically doing the human version of tail drop, losing the expendable thing so the predator gets distracted long enough for you to escape. Psychologically, this is harder than it sounds. We're attached to our stuff. But in a survival scenario, channel your inner gecko. Things can be replaced. Lives can't. Unless you're into the whole ghost haunting your lost credit cards aesthetic, just let go. Number 8. The octopus smoke bomb. Octopuses are basically the escape artists of the ocean. When threatened, they don't just slither away. They drop an ink cloud like they're auditioning for a Batman reboot. That ink does two things. It hides their getaway, and it messes with the predator's sense of smell and taste. Imagine someone throws a chili pepper grenade into your nostrils mid-chase. You'd be too busy sneezing to keep running. Humans don't have built-in squid ink. Tragic, I know. But we do have smoke bombs, flares, and even basic distraction tricks. Ever seen someone throw sand in an attacker's face in movies? That's octopus logic right there. Police and military use flashbangs, pepper spray, and tear gas, all versions of human ink clouds. Even tossing your jacket at someone to block their view while you bolt counts as your personal cephalopod impression. The psychology here is simple. The brain hates sensory overload. If vision, smell, or even balance gets scrambled, the brain needs a second to reboot. And that second is all you need to slither, sprint away. Just don't actually try squirting ink in public unless you want to be arrested for very suspicious behavior. Number 7. Fainting goats shutdown mode. You've probably seen the memes. Goats get startled, their muscles lock up, and they fall over like fluffy bowling pins. It looks ridiculous, but it's actually a genetic condition called myotonia congenita. The goat's survival strategy isn't intentional. It's more like system overload, shutting down. The predators go after the twitchy goat, and the rest of the herd escapes. Kind of like throwing your clumsiest friend under the bus. Here's the wild part. Humans have our own shutdown mode. It's called vasovagal syncope, a fancy way of saying you faint when your nervous system freaks out. Too much stress? boom, lights out. In some emergencies, fainting might actually protect you. Your body diverts energy away from panic mode, slows your heart, and prevents you from spiraling into full cardiac disaster. In dangerous confrontations, collapsing can sometimes trick an attacker into backing off, because who wants to mess with someone unconscious? Of course, fainting on purpose isn't exactly a skill you can train, unless your plan is to make friends carry you everywhere. But it's another example of how weird, glitchy body responses can double as survival hacks. Basically, humans are just hairless fainting goats with student loans. ChatGPT said, Number 6. The pufferfish balloon defense. Imagine trying to eat a nugget, and suddenly it turns into a beach ball with spikes. That's basically what happens when a predator tries to munch a pufferfish. It gulps water, or air if it's desperate, and transforms from snack-sized sushi into a spiky underwater balloon animal. The predator either chokes on it or gives up, realizing dinner just turned into a medieval weapon. Humans can't inflate like party balloons, unless you count that one uncle after Thanksgiving, but we do have a version of this trick, making yourself look bigger. You've probably heard of hikers waving their arms and yelling at bears. That's textbook pufferfish energy. Even standing tall, puffing out your chest, and widening your stance makes you look less like prey. Your nervous system basically goes, if I can't fight, I can at least cosplay as the Rock. Psychologically, size equals intimidation. Predators and humans tend to think twice when something suddenly looks bigger and louder. It's the same reason cats arch their backs and fluff their tails, or why little kids scream, "I'm telling Mom," when cornered. So if you're ever in a sketchy alley, remember, channel your inner pufferfish. Scream, flail, puff yourself up. Worst case, you look ridiculous. Best case, you don't end up as someone else's dinner roll. Number 5. The camel water bank. Camels are basically walking water bottles with bad attitudes. Contrary to popular belief, they don't actually store water in their humps. It's fat, but they do have a superpower. Their bodies can lose up to 25% of their water without dying. For perspective, humans start turning into raisins after about 10% loss. Camels also rehydrate in ways that would kill us, chugging gallons of water at once without their blood turning into soup. Humans can't camel level their hydration, but we can steal their strategy, water banking. Athletes, soldiers, and desert explorers practice prehydration, which is just a fancy way of saying drink a lot before you're stranded. Loading up on water before exertion buys you time before dehydration sets in. And while you can't grow a hump, unless you count that one mole on your back, you can tweak your diet like camels do. Eating water-heavy foods like fruits and veggies acts like slow-release hydration packs. The trick here is prepping your body to survive scarcity. Your brain loves to trick you into waiting until you're already thirsty, which is like waiting to put gas in your car after you're stranded on the highway. The camel says, drink early, drink often, and don't complain about looking bloated. Your survival depends on being a hydrated raisin, not a crunchy one. Number 4. The seal fat blanket. Picture yourself swimming in freezing Arctic water. 5 seconds in, your brain's already filing a complaint. Seals, meanwhile, are thriving. Their secret? Blubber. That thick, glorious fat layer insulates them from the cold, keeps their organs safe, and even doubles as an energy reserve. Basically, it's a survival snuggie built right into their skin. Now, humans don't exactly come with blubber, despite what some bathroom scales say, but we do have ways of mimicking it. Think about insulated clothing, sleeping bags, or even the classic survival hack, layering up with whatever you've got. Fat works as insulation because it traps heat close to the body. Humans can achieve a similar effect with multiple clothing layers or by using air as insulation, like stuffing grass or leaves between shirts in an emergency. You're basically DIYing a seal suit without the fishy smell. There's even a psychological component. Your body goes into cold survival mode by slowing blood flow to extremities, sacrificing fingers and toes to keep your core warm. Seals skip this drama by just being chubby. For humans, the moral is clear. Don't underestimate the power of insulation. Sometimes survival is less about being strong and more about being a well-wrapped burrito. ChatGPT said, Number 3. The possum's gross cologne. We already talked about possums going full Shakespeare with their dramatic fainting, but their encore performance is way nastier. When they play dead, they also release a foul-smelling liquid from their anal glands. It smells like death marinated in garbage juice. Predators take one whiff and go, nope, not worth it, because who wants to eat something that smells like a crime scene in a dumpster? Humans, unfortunately, don't have a built-in stink bomb, unless you've just eaten Taco Bell. But we can borrow the idea of using smell as a survival tool. Historically, people have used strong odors as deterrents: smoke to keep insects away, sulfur and ammonia in warfare, even onions and garlic as folk remedies to ward off evil. On a practical level, modern humans have pepper spray, which is basically the chemical equivalent of possum juice. It overwhelms the senses, makes attackers recoil, and gives you precious seconds to escape. The psychology is fascinating. Smell is the fastest, most primal sense in the brain. Before your brain even thinks your body is already gagging and backing away. So while we can't ooze rot juice like a possum, we can absolutely harness the same strategy: gross someone out so they leave you alone. If nothing else, you can always weaponize your gym socks. Number 2. The honeybee alarm system. Bees are tiny, fuzzy anarchists with one of the most effective survival tricks around: chemical messaging. When a bee stings you, it releases pheromones that scream, "Attack this idiot right here!" Suddenly, you're the main character in a swarm's group project. It's like tagging yourself in laser tag, except the lasers are stabbing butts. Humans can't puff out pheromones like bees, but we've built our own version: alarms, whistles, and group alerts. In dangerous situations, creating noise and drawing attention to yourself can scare off predators, or at least get other humans to help. Think of it as hacking the predator's psychology. Attackers want easy, quiet victims. Noise equals risk. Even better, humans are naturally wired to respond to alarm calls. Yell, "Help!" in a crowded space, and suddenly you've got allies.
It's the same hive mind principle bees use, just without the whole dying after stabbing someone with your butt downside.
It's the same hive mind principle bees use, just without the whole dying after stabbing someone with your butt downside. In short, be loud, be obvious, and remember that survival sometimes depends on making yourself everyone's problem. Number 1. The penguin huddle. Hack penguins live in Antarctica, where the weather makes your freezer look like a spa day. Their survival trick? Group huddling. Thousands of penguins squished together, constantly rotating so no one freezes on the outside for too long. It's basically the world's most adorable mosh pit, and it keeps the colony alive in brutal cold. Humans can absolutely copy this, and we already do. Soldiers in freezing conditions huddle for warmth. Lost hikers are taught to pile together. Even disaster survivors instinctively clump up, sharing body heat like living space heaters. It works because your body loses heat mostly through radiation, and by pressing against others, you reduce the surface area exposed to the cold. Translation: friendship equals insulation. There's also a psychological bonus. Being in close contact reduces panic, calms your nervous system, and keeps morale higher, which means your chances of survival go up, not just because you're warm, but because you're not mentally spiraling. Basically, penguins invented group therapy before we did. So next time you're freezing, don't tough it out alone. Find your people, form a huddle, and channel your inner tuxedo bird. That's all for today. I'll be making similar videos in the future. Subscribe to see them.